The average performer will never get the chance to star in a Broadway show. These are the stories of a college music theater program, its teachers, and their students who are anything but average, and whose chances just got a whole lot better.
When I first walk into a room, I just try to remember that they're on my side and they want me to do well. And I try to remember that this is what I was put on this planet to do, is perform. And this is what I love to do. And the nerves, it's a certain kind of electric energy. And I just try to narrow it into the best positive thing that can come from it versus this negative, messy audition.
However green the hill to me, it still is autumn. I can feel the frost now that made my spring and summer dreams seem lost now.
I tried to go off of period, and then I looked at the composers, and I tried to hear songs. If I was a casting director, what roles would come to mind after I heard those songs.
And though another season's here, I feel the emptiness of autumn all the year. Autumn, autumn.
So I am, in a way, going to the other side of the table and trying to get a new perspective before I actually pick them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Legit sounds nice.
Thank you.
Hey, Colin.
Hello. I'm a king. It's as if I were drunk, though I hadn't a drop. What is it? It's glory.
Be really careful not to waste your breath when you speak. Especially, and I know it's something you think about holding yourself where you are, because when you and let yourself go for a memory lapse, then your capacity to recover momentum diminishes in that moment.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So spend the breath on the thought, not on the effort to find it. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Good. And if the thought's not there, hold it till it comes. Good. Nicely done.
Everyone has a messy audition, and those are fun too because you walk out and you feel more human again.
Ever since the day you first took me away, I'm sorry, can I start over? Okay.
You know, absolutely, the best thing to do
Okay.
is just start over.
Yeah, okay.
Rather than ask permission, because it takes you out,
Okay,
because
sure,
you're
sure,
really
sure.
close to it. Just
Right.
stay close to it.
Okay.
Go from the top, and don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just do it.
Okay. I'm going to be married. I'm going to be happy.
Okay, good. You see?
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
if you had, if you drop your line
Yeah.
and it pisses you off, which
Yeah.
it did,
Yeah.
that monologue would have been totally fed by that feeling, without having to, can I
Yeah,
start
right,
again? And then you
right.
get all polite, and then you lose the
Yeah.
fire that you're
Right.
developing because you screwed up.
That makes
Don't
sense.
worry about it. It's just do it.
Okay.
I've read so many interviews of Broadway stars that say that you have to have a great audition. And it's part of growing up. And here they're really nurturing about it. And if you don't get called back and if you don't get a role, it doesn't mean that you're not talented. And it doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be here.
Could I ever know?
So for you to come in and nail it and show yourself as a savvy auditioner, make those
Just-
cut exactly.
And it's
Okay.
a little long.
Okay,
Yeah.
Because of
all right.
And anytime we're waiting for that modulation to resolve, we're going, okay, oh, now she's getting, you know what I'm saying? So just, it's a better cut for you, thinking about how to edit material. It gives us a sense of what your performance
Okay.
is. Okay? Just a little FYI.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Scott directed the fall musical when I first got here. And so seeing him back in the room 3 years later for my last fall audition here is it's something. It makes you look back. But I've changed so much, and I'm not the same person that walked in and sang "Hello, Young Lovers." I've learned what it is that fills me with this passion to do this, and what excites me even more about it. I've discovered so much about it.
And I went under, oh ma, what have I done? Hey, hey, oh mama, look sharp.
I have come such a long way. I mean, freshman year starting, I was Mr. Indicator. I'd point and snap, but I've learned to take it back, and I've learned to just be simple.
Beneath the maple tree.
And I've had a lot of incredible experiences along the way at BW. Personal, some here, some over the summer, but all of them have taught me lessons.
Good. Good. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Sure. But this formerly was a college dorm, which I think before or after was a nursing home?
A nursing home.
Okay, so this was the hall director's suite, just back here. So this was the kitchen. If you look close, you can see some of the appliance hookups. Bedroom, living room, bathroom. And then the add-on was all dormitory style.
This is Scott's office.
Come into the, right, this is the,
This is where we have the big meetings this year on planning.
This is, there's lots of windows.
It's a little,
This was the closet of the hall director. This was the hall director's closet.
so I put a rocking chair in here with the scores, and this became the reading desk.
So this hallway that we're in, there's 2 floors and a basement. And there's all these little rooms and bathrooms were for,
So this is where,
this is the vault. This is actually good.
Those were my shelves, and then in the shower stalls,
There they are. God damn it.
yeah, those are my boxes in the shower stalls.
I found my shelves. I didn't know how they were. The old building was Werner Pfeiffer Hall and Coulis Hall, and the college purchased an old historic church, an old UCC church, and there was a green space in between it, and an annex was built bridging the 2 buildings, which is now called the Bozell Musical Arts Center. And it basically doubles the amount of space we have in the conservatory. And for the first time since I've been working here, every single department in the conservatory will actually be in the same complex of buildings. So we're all going to be together, which I think will have a huge effect.
And I mean, one of the really beautiful things are where we're going to be teaching our classes. We have a gorgeous, really stunning new space where Scott and I will both be teaching the majority of our classes over in that building that is gorgeous.
Here is the sanctuary. Do you remember when we had the very first majors meeting in here? They restored all the windows, took them out, had them all cleaned, hung all these acoustic panels in here. Interestingly enough, these doors, this church was built like a lot of churches in Northeast Ohio along what's called the Akron Plan. So this sort of folded out onto a choral room or a larger room in case on festival Sundays or whatever, the church capacity was exceeded, they could go off into that room. But because it's historic, they couldn't get rid of it. So what they did is, I'll show you on the other side, they just kind of sealed off that wall to make that historical piece stay. This is what's being called the choral room. So this will be Vicky's and my primary teaching space in here. This wing is known as the loud wing because we work in studios that produce sound, either vocal coachings, monologue coachings, piano, ensemble work, chamber work. So this area, if you walk down this hallway, all of the studios, the way they've been built, which is really interesting, which I didn't realize until I got the tour, there's a micro inch of space, of separation space between the studios, because sound travels along vibrations through connected walls. So every discrete room has a little break between it and the one next to it. And then the sounds are soundproofed, and then the walls are soundproofed so that you don't have that, it's about as quiet as it can be. So there's a practice room with a piano in it. Working in the theater, it's like the space is everything. The dynamic of space is everything. And you make what you have work, but without even realizing, you begin to think in terms of what the space gives you without you even knowing that you're doing it. So having a tiny little space, you sort of start thinking small sometimes. But I don't think we can do this. We can't do that here anymore. This whole area received designation on the National Register of Historic Places, which enabled Peter to apply for and get a considerable savings in tax abatements, which were then rolled into the project budget. But as soon as the Historical Society became involved, the design became affected. There are a lot of people with, suggestions as to how to tie these new buildings in architecturally with the new ones. So this roof, which had been a straight-up facade, all of a sudden got a peaked, aspect and a mansard style on the front. So here's a good place to see the Historical Society's effect. You see the roof, the shape of that roof over here. That's the original Myrna Pfeiffer. And then you can see the stylistic parallel over in the new construction. I came in here literally when Peter took us on a tour, a bunch of faculty members, and you could sort of sign up. And I walked in here and cried. I went off into the corner so nobody would see me. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was just, I didn't expect the emotional reaction to it, but I remember when my first year I was hired here, Peter was taking ideas for what kind of space we were going to have, and I put up my hand and I said, I think the space should mirror what the music we perform here invites us to aspire to. We should have a space that meets those kinds of aspirations, and here we are 4 years later, and I guess people are going to have to say whether we did or not, but I could tell by my reaction when I came in here that I felt like we achieved it. I felt that we'd kind of come home.